rise of the dragon.
Vanakkam. I think looking back, I started hockey a bit later than a lot of people. I think I was about 12 or 13 years old. It was due to me going to a particular high school where they offered hockey, rugby as the main two sports. Played both of those sports and then ended up following my two older sisters who also attended that school into more of a focus on hockey. And together with my twin brother, continued to play throughout high school and obviously beyond. It was an unforgettable weekend. Don't think it was actually planned that way. Originally, my twin brother Connor wasn't in the selection that made the trip to France initially. And then an injury came to one of our defenders and he got a late phone call and flew over. And together with my sister Emer, my brother Connor and myself, we all made our international debuts at the same weekend in Le Touquet in France, making for such a memorable weekend for our family. I think looking back at 2015 with the national team, that we had a really good year. We created history in winning a bronze medal at the European Championships for the first time ever in our history. And then obviously the icing on the cake for myself was to be named goalkeeper of the tournament that time, and also a tournament that we had in Belgium for the Olympic qualifier for Rio 2016. To be named best goalkeeper there alongside many other incredible goalkeepers from different teams was truly an honour for myself and something that I look back on with immense pride. Happiness, I think, it was a bit of disbelief, but the unique thing about that was that I received the award twice in India. The first time was in Mumbai on the pitch after a game and received it from my former captain of the Bang Mumbai at the time, an Australian international, Matthew Swan, and then the year after that was in a hotel in Chandigarh where I had an opportunity to go to the FIH Star Awards, which was really a really impressive event, and to have my girlfriend at the time, Lynn, come over as well as my +1 made it even extra special. Yeah, I think there was certainly an unforgettable moment. I think we were all waiting with anticipation for that first whistle to blow on that pitch, and the opening game happened to be against India in the stifling heat in Rio de Janeiro, together with so many Irish supporters in the stands, singing the national anthem together, shoulder to shoulder with my twin brother, leading the team out as team captain. Are memories that will stay with me for the rest of my days, and I can only look back again with immense pride but also satisfaction in what we achieved as a group around that period of time. I think each time you go to a Hamburg Masters event, you know there's obviously going to be 4 teams and 4 incredibly strong teams. You have to be invited, an invitational event by Germany, so that in itself was a fair reflection of where we were as a group and as a team to get an invite like that from Germany for us to fly over and compete at that event. But I'm not sure any of us had ever imagined that we would go on to win that tournament. I think it was also against Spain, against Austria and against the host Germany, and the last game was a cracker against Germany. I think we ended up winning with maybe 4-3, backs against the wall defense. We had a few cards, but ultimately toppling Germany in Germany doesn't happen very often. So yeah, that was a really cool tournament for us as a team. I personally was really excited to get back, of course, to India. Having played in the Bhubaneswar stadium before against the Kalinga Lancers in the previous editions of the Hockey Indy League, I knew what the stadium was like, but I'd never really seen it fully sold out. And I think that first game that we played in the 2018 World Cup was against Australia in the Kalinga Stadium, and it was close to being sold out. And again, memories hockey-wise for me, it was something that I think I can look back and go, wow, that was one of the coolest moments I had, hearing the roar of the crowd as the match started, but also when we scored. And the general atmosphere throughout was something I can look back on. Staying in Bhubaneswar, it was really enjoyable tournament. Unfortunately, we didn't go as far as we wanted to, but it had been the first time, I think, in over 32 years that Ireland had competed at a World Cup. We looked forward to that final for a long time. I think that final edition of the previous Hockey Indy League, we actually had qualified first as the first team. We were sitting on top of the pool table to qualify for those semi-finals and eventually that final, which we unfortunately came runners-up in. But we can look back in the journey that we had and the progression we had as a team, the growth throughout those years to actually make it all the way to the final was something the franchise and the players and the team, together with the staff, can look back obviously very fondly on. I think also playing in Chandigarh at the time in the grand final with a full stadium. My wife was over, my girlfriend at the time, Lynn, was also added to it, and to see so many supporters again in the crowd was something really cool. And it doesn't happen all the time, but it's when it does, you really have to appreciate it, and that's certainly something we really did. Goalkeepers obviously are very unique individuals, so we have unique requirements. People might say a bit crazy, people might say have maybe to be able to stand in front of the ball you have to have a few screws loose in your head, but ultimately we do train differently, of course, to field players. We have to focus a lot more on core strength and power with the way that the game is developing and moving. You have to be a lot more athletic, mobile, agile, and in particular also the importance of shootouts, but also reactions and reflexes, and that doesn't change. You can train in many different manners, on the pitch, off the pitch, maybe with some of the reaction lights, and when you're on the pitch you can train with particular equipment like rebound boards and crazy catch nets to try and get you up to speed, to get you ready for facing some of the world's best strikers. Yeah, communication's everything. I'm a firm believer that prevention is better than cure. So if you can obviously alleviate any goal scoring opportunities by pure communication and setting your players in the correct positions, the quieter the game for me, I always believe, the better it is for me. And I think that also stems from and comes from really solid, good communication with the goalkeeper together with the defenders in front of them. I was delighted, surprised, but ultimately found it an incredible moment to think that I'd be getting back over to India, having been away from the country for so long, and have another opportunity to play in the revamped Hero Hockey India League. Incredibly proud as well to be picked up by the Tamil Nadu Dragons. And again, we're only one game in, but I really can't wait that obviously to see where our journey takes us moving throughout this version of the Hockey India League. I believe that having the opportunity to share knowledge, and knowledge is power, and to be able to share that amongst your fellow teammates, and particularly the younger goalkeepers, and perhaps also to maybe help and guide some of the more inexperienced and talented defenders, it's something that I'm here to do as well. I think if I was to use all the over 200 plus caps international experience and also experience of different tournaments, different competitions, leagues throughout the world, I think I would look back in my career and think that there's been many senior players who have helped me along the way, and I would like to do the exact same for those players coming through. An amazing journey so far. I think to see how quickly that we've gelled as a group together is testament, of course, to our staff, but also the players themselves. Investing time with each other, both on and off the pitch, having some jokes, but then also on the pitch at the same time, pushing each other to get to a higher level and to try and create a good chemistry within the group is something that we can say that we're really obviously aware of and busy with, but also seeing that it's actually really been a successful last 2 weeks together. Brilliant. I think we all can have some good fun and jokes together. I think that's obviously the breaking down of the barriers of perhaps the language issues that we have. We have quite a unique group together with Tamil, English and Hindi speakers, and I think trying to gel us all together is obviously quite a unique feat in itself. If someone came in and listened to our meetings and saw how we have to do certain pauses to allow the different translation on the different groups, but ultimately we all speak the same language, and that's hockey, and our love and passion for hockey is really what unites us together. I think if I looked at the goalkeepers that we have, just specifically of course the likes of Arasu and Prince Deep, these two guys are incredible goalkeepers. I think sometimes perhaps maybe don't have all the greatest amount of goalkeeping training or advice or coaching for them, but I can see already a difference in them that we train together. We talk about being a team within a team, and that's something that we do. We have each other's backs, we support each other, we lift each other, but we also push each other. And I think the importance of obviously having a good goalkeeper in a team is something that they're going to be able to bring back to their selective groups, whether that be the under-21 side for Prince Deep or Arasu to go back to his army side, or the Tamil Nadu setup. That was a great experience in Mumbai. Mumbai traffic, for those obviously who might know it, can be absolutely brutal at times. And we had a early evening match, and to get to our venue, you had to go across the Marina Drive, which is a seriously busy spot for people coming for a look at the beach, to click selfies, but also just general traffic. And we were not going to make it on time. The bus wasn't able to reach us, so there was 6 or 7 or 8 of us grown men with our bags on our back decided there's only one way to get there. It wasn't walking. We saw a horse and carriage, and we saw that we had the opportunity to try and reach the venue in a very unique and different manner. A white carriage and a white horse. It was something like almost like out of a fairy tale, but we got there in the end, and it did prove to be the quickest way that we could get to the venue. There's too many people probably to mention, to be honest, but I think looking specifically from a goalkeeper's perspective, Nigel Henderson is the previous national goalkeeper and captain, and has been the Irish men's goalkeeper coach for many, many years before now stepping across to the Irish women's side. He has had a huge impact on my career. My family, of course, my father, and also my Dutch goalkeeper coach and Martijn Driver. Without these people's involvement in my career, the guidance, sometimes a pat on the back, sometimes a kick up the ass. It does help you along your way in your journey, and there'll be probably too many people to mention, but those would be just a few that I can say right now. Simply put, without my family or the inner network that we have, I wouldn't be here where I am today. I think everyone would agree that straight away you want to have your strong inner circle or your support network around you, and family for me is everything. The ability that you have to speak openly and honest with them, to have a shoulder to cry on, or obviously perhaps maybe in a joyous occasion to share with, they're the people that you want to do it with. You think straight away to the moments when you step off the pitch and your family might not be there. They're the first people that you reach out to, you send a message to, you video call, you want to share those moments with. And not to have my parents at particular tournaments is obviously a disappointment, but when they are there, or when my family are there, now with my two daughters, being there in the stands at the most recent Olympic Games in Paris, those moments are something that do stay with you for the rest of your life. And without having people like that to share it with, I don't think I would be the hockey player I am today, and I certainly wouldn't be enjoying it as much as I am today. Personally, I would like to see continued growth as I am as a person. There's plenty of things that you can learn from yourself when you embark on different journeys, such as the Hockey India League. You put yourself away from close family and friends for quite a long, sustained period of time, which is of course difficult as an individual level, but also for those back home. But on the opposite side, you have an opportunity for personal growth, for development, for engagement and connections with others around the world. And then from a professional side of things, I would love to try and remain in the unique high-performance sporting world. What that might look like is still uncertain, but what I'm doing currently in a roundabout way is working as a lecturer at the Amsterdam University of Applied Sciences. I lecture in international sports business management at the Hogeschool van Amsterdam, and thankfully having had such good relationships with them and a really good employer to allow me the opportunity to be over here to develop myself is something I'm very grateful for, and perhaps it's something that I might take with me in the future moving forward as well. Nandri.